Now please give a very warm Chattanooga welcome to Dr. Diane Ravitch.
Education is a basic human right. Why should people have to pay for a basic human right? America leads the world. We're number one in child poverty. That's a disgrace. That ought to be the number one topic of conversation in the presidential debates, but I don't think you'll hear it mentioned. This is a critical time in American education. As a nation, we need to know the facts, and we need to hear different sides of the issue. But every day, we're fed false claims, and we only hear one side of the issues in the national media. I'm here to tell you the other side. People say to me, how do you keep going? I'm old, I'm 74 years old. I get angry. I get angry to see people beating up on public education, and I get angry when I think that we are doing our children a disservice by ranking them, rating them, saying you're good, you're not good. We should be looking at every child without a test score and saying how can we bring out the best in every child. Just being able to bubble in the right answer on a test does not prepare you for college, and it doesn't prepare you for the workforce. So we're miseducating a generation of children and calling it reform.
Where are we? Where do we want to go? How do we view a successful school system, and what will it take to get there?
The reformers like to say that they're leading the civil rights movement of our time as they bash teachers, crush their unions, privatize public education, and turn schools into test-taking factories. These reformers like to talk about test scores, so I will talk about test scores. The test scores for American students are at their highest point in 40 years. But what about our terrible performance on international tests? Bear in mind that our students have never done well on those international tests, and that those tests do not predict future economic success. Our students in schools with 25% poverty rates had scores that were the same as the highest performing nations in the world. As the poverty level rises, the scores fall. We have a low average because we have so many of our children living in poverty. And no one seems to know or care except their parents and teachers. You see, there's one statistic where we are number one in the world. We have more children living in poverty than any other advanced nation in the world. We are number one. Almost a quarter of our children are below the poverty line as compared to less than 5% in Finland. That has a huge impact on our test scores. It drags down the scores. We are on the wrong path as a nation. We are in the process in many places across this country of privatizing public education, and we will end up, as some cities already have, with the dual school system, the same dual school system that we had before the Brown decision, only it won't be based on race, it'll be based on class.
She talks about poverty. I feel like that conversation in general is missing from the debates.
Education reformers these days always say they're putting children first. But if your primary interest is equity and civil rights, why would you insist on using standardized tests as the one true measure of success, since the poor kids are always at the bottom?
What's next? What do we do now to ensure that we're giving kids the highest quality of education and not just preparing them for some tests?
The answers lie in us as communities, as educators, as students. We have to find the answers. She can't give us everything.
To me, I think the best point she made is education is not a drive-by career.
A good education includes not just basic skills, but history and civics, literature, sciences, foreign languages, advanced courses in math and science. A great education gives students the opportunity to sing and dance and write and act and play instruments and march, to sculpt, to design, to dream. Students need a reason to come to school, not as drudgery, not as duty, not to take tests, not to take test prep, but for the joy that comes from performance and imagination.
What's next? What do we do now? And to make that happen and not just go home and celebrate the fact that you've come out to see her, but to put into practice some of the things that she suggested in the lecture tonight.
If we care about the civil rights issue of our day, we should not ignore racial segregation and poverty. We should not have the highest child poverty rate amongst the advanced nations of the world. This is a national scandal. Remember this: hope, not fear. Encouragement, not threats. Love, trust, and respect, not carrots and not sticks. Respect for students, respect for teachers, respect for parents and families. Together, all of you in Chattanooga can build good schools for all of the children. Thank you so much.